So in our last lesson, we solved quadratics using our square root method. Okay, today we're going to learn about solving quadratics by completing the square. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to find this piece of this equation. Okay, so my 12 is my b in this case. It's always the number in front of the x term. So we're going to have x squared plus 12x plus, and then we're going to have 12 over 2 squared. Now, if you guys remember way back when we started solving equations, if I add something to one side of my equation, I also have to add it to the other side. Okay. So then we get x squared plus 12x. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 squared is 36. So then what we're going to do with our left side of our equation is we're going to turn it into this binomial squared. So we're going to have x plus our b, which was 12, over 2. That whole quantity is squared. On the right side, we're going to simplify. 13 plus 36 is 49. So then I get the problem, x plus 6 squared equals 49. Now, if you remember from our last section, that we can solve using our square root method. So then we square root both sides. So we get x plus 6 equals plus or minus 7. Then we break it into our two equations. X plus 6 equals 7, and x plus 6 equals negative 7. And then we solve. So we subtract 6. We get x equals 1. Subtract 6 over here. X is negative 13. Okay. All right, same thing on the next one here. Okay, the only difference between this problem and the problem we just got done doing is now my 13 is on the other side. So this 7. So we're actually going to subtract 7 from both sides. So I'm going to have x squared minus 8x equals negative 7. Okay, so now we're in the form where we can do our b over 2 squared piece. So we're going to have x squared minus 8x plus, and then it's going to be negative 8 over 2 squared. Then we've got negative 7 plus negative 8 over 2 squared as well. So then we get x squared minus 8x plus negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 squared is 16. So we add 16 to both sides. Then we're going to turn this trinomial into that binomial squared. So we're going to have x plus our b over 2 squared. And then negative 7 plus 16 is 9. So that becomes x. When you add a negative, remember that becomes a minus. So you get x minus 4 squared equals 9. Then you solve it. Square root both sides. We get x minus 4 equals plus or minus 3. Create your two equations to find your two answers. So then we add 4 to both sides. Get x equals 7. Add 4 to both sides here. X equals 1.